Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, let's jump straight to the words from Sergei Lavrov, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation. And he will be addressing the punishment of Zelensky as well as his reaction to Trump's words that he has posted on Truth Social, calling Vladimir Putin crazy or acting like he's crazy. I'm gonna play this for you. And then we go to Macron and some announcement regarding my channel in regards to Macron. So let's go straight to Sergei Lavrov. We're gonna take a listen. If you appreciate the content before you leave this video, make sure to hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.
We appreciate Turkey's willingness to continue facilitating such negotiations and, in general, a peaceful settlement. Russia is interested in ensuring that all the agreements reached on this issue over the past 3 years are implemented. But unfortunately, the same cannot be said about our Ukrainian neighbors, who their Western patrons not only allow them to do whatever they want, but actively encourage them. This is especially evident in the position of European countries. In all periods, no matter what they were called, ceasefire, moratorium, the Ukrainian regime continued to carry out deliberate targeted strikes, both on energy and any other civilian infrastructure, on residential buildings, on shops, on kindergartens, schools, and in general on peaceful civilians, among whom there have been and unfortunately continue to be casualties, including those killed and wounded, and the fact that the Western elite, including in the United States, but above all in Europe, generally tried not to notice this at all. This is obvious to everyone. Those who are trying to push the United States, the current US administration, toward the Biden position, the path of war, they understand perfectly well what is happening. That is why our retaliatory strikes, which you mentioned, are absolutely natural in this situation. A criminal must be punished. And I dare assure you, Zelensky, his junta knows perfectly well why they were hit, just as they know perfectly well that, unlike their strikes, ours were carried out exclusively against military targets and facilities used by the armed forces of Ukraine. As for the rumors about the United States wanting to replace the Russian negotiator, unlike during the Biden era, which is now a thing of the past, we communicate normally with the United States. We have normal communication. And if the United States wanted to convey something to us, they know how to do it without resorting to the humiliating method of spreading rumors. And as for the head of the Russian negotiating team, specifically Mr. Medinsky, in case anyone still has doubts, he is appointed by the President of the Russian Federation, Putin, not by the leader or representative of any other country. Yes, our presidents agreed during their last phone conversation to prepare the exchange of prisoners between the United States and Russia. The details, for obvious reasons, are being coordinated through the appropriate competent authorities. I do not allow for attempts by Brussels to disrupt the renewed negotiation process. I see these attempts, as does and any objective observer, it has reached completely unprecedented actions, statements, and appeals. And most importantly, of course, is this confusion, this nervousness from the fact that they realize that they themselves, the European hawks led by France, Britain, Germany, and also Poland, right there, that they themselves do not have enough strength to continue this war. And they are very afraid. Simply, They are mortally terrified that the United States will just wash their hands of them and say, you started this mess together with Biden, so you go ahead and overcome. President Trump has already stated that this is not his war. And he's interested in seeing negotiations between Russia and Ukraine continue. Well, as for the second round of negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, if you ask me, I would once again turn to our Turkish friends. Istanbul is a very good place. President Trump, he is a person who wants results. And when he sees that his efforts, a group of European representatives begins to sabotage, pushing Ukraine toward completely reckless actions, including drone attacks on Moscow, other of our cities, and attacks on the helicopter of the president of the Russian Federation. Of course, he may experience certain emotions. And of course, as someone who does not like obstacles on the path to achieving noble goals, he develops certain opinions, a certain rhetoric. The main thing here is not to focus on the rhetoric, but to ensure that Europe stops sabotaging the movement toward peace, which is supported by both the United States and Turkey, and to which the Russian Federation is fully committed. As to what? Yesterday, President Putin told Mr. Fidan, stating our readiness as soon as the exchange of memorandums takes place, to resume the negotiation process with the Ukrainian delegation. This statement by Mr. Merz only further emphasizes the level of competence of the people who are now in Europe, have managed to seize power. And yesterday he declared with such pathos that from now on and forever there will be no restrictions on the range of strikes. Moreover, he spoke not only for himself, but also for France, Britain, and the United States. A few minutes later, or maybe an hour later, the Vice Chancellor of Mr. Merz said that nothing of the sort had been discussed or was being discussed at all. The same thing was said, as I understand it, by the Bundeswehr, representatives of the Bundeswehr. And then Mr. Merz, apparently, after realizing what exactly he had said, stated that he was not referring to a new decision, but to some decision that had been made by the previous administration, the administration in Berlin, which once again leads us to think that the decision to allow Ukraine to do whatever it actually wants, well, at least within certain limits, but regarding strikes on targets on Russian territory, that decision was made a long time ago and was kept secret.
So I don't think I have to add much to it. Pretty much Sergei Lavrov, the one and only, said it all. However, I will add two things. I will play a video for you in regards to what kind of soldiers, if there are nowadays, could even put up with any form of fight. Very interesting clip I would like to share with you. And also thinking about those sanctions on European Union, 50% from June 1st. That's what Trump announced, that European Union will be facing the tariffs. Sorry guys, sanctions. We have 17 on Russia, so I think that's why it's staying in my subconscious mind. Tariffs, 50% of tariffs on European Union. So the question here is, the tariffs are going to help with the collapse of EU, and how the war economy is going to go from there, I don't know, as well as European Union will also collapse from within. It's just the question how and how soon. That's my thought on that. Now let me take you to the clip that I came across this morning, and it perfectly summarizes what Sergei Lavrov said. England, UK, France, Germany, and yes, Poland, as he mentioned. If this is the level of soldiers, even though this presents an American youth, I believe, which is pretty much similar to European youth, it's nothing to be afraid of. Let me play it for you. And to all the veterans, hello to you. Greetings from me.
The same old theme since 1960. Yeah.
I muted the video, but this clip shows you how normal people are reacting to be flying. I don't know what kind of plane it is. I'm not an expert, but there you have 96-year-old World War II pilot Bob Brocklehurst. Incredible. And 102-year-old former RAF pilot Jack Hemmings. And look at them. This is incredible. Another person, Alan Scott, 96-year-old. So, and even a lady, 99-year-old. And those are like legit videos. And the regular people, as they have been recorded, these are their reactions. So imagine all this talk. What kind of humans we have nowadays? Strong or weak? Here we go. That's it. What can I say? Now, I want to address something briefly before I end this video. This will be a shorter video. Lately, I've noticed that YouTube demonetizes some of my videos. And when I went to my channel, I just realized that 2 of my videos, YouTube chosen to demonetize. Even if you see commercials, it doesn't matter because I don't know how they do it. It still is not monetized. My live stream with Alex Krainer is demonetized. Even if you have the commercial, it doesn't really matter because they told me it's demonetized. And the reason for it is this video that I have mentioned here. The video in which I was presenting Emmanuel Macron being slapped in his face by his wife. We actually, most of us know it's not a woman, it's a man, okay? And because of that video that I presented this, the live stream is demonetized. And another video, because, you know, it's interesting which one they choose to demonetize. Another one is this one, in which I was talking about South African farmers that are moving to Russia, okay? This one also was demonetized. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play a short clip for you, showing you, did I show you this video? Oh, I'm sorry guys, I'm not sure if I showed you this video. Let me do it again. I'm not sure if I was showing this or not. Yes, sorry, apologies, I'm confused. So this is the video about African farmers that are moving to Russia that is not monetized, as well as my live stream with Alex Krainer, in which I was showing the plane in the very beginning, and we were talking about the situation on the plane between Macron and his wife, husband. So I will ask you if you would like to support my work, those who can on Patreon or on Locals, that would be great. If you can, you don't have to, but I would really appreciate. And now, as far as the body language goes, I would like to present you another clip. This will be also from Instagram. This will be from the body language expert who analyze the language of the body of Macron after he already stepped down by the stairs in Vietnam from the plane, because as we know, she or he, wife, husband, didn't give her his hand as they were walking down. But this is very interesting because he analyzes a little bit more how Macron looks like after that situation. So let me mute myself. And let's take a listen to the expert of body language.
On the picture that, well, a couple things. His left hand, like already, he had already greeted everybody at the bottom of the stairs. They were walking, but his left hand, white knuckles, that is concealed anger. The guy was really angry, was really angry. You can see in his facial expression as well. There was no reason his teeth, I could say that his teeth were clenched right now. He's got a squarish face, but I see his jaw muscles a bit more, like more flexed than usual. He's pressing his lips. I wouldn't be surprised that he was clenching his teeth at that point. You can see from the picture that, well, a couple things. His left hand, like already, he had already greeted everybody at the bottom of the stairs. They were walking, but his left hand, white knuckles, that is
So here, a few thoughts from me before we end. I was thinking about this actually, because of course this was absolutely form of abuse that you could witness. Staged or not, I think it was staged, but still there is an abuse. He was abused from early childhood, apparently, and it looks like he was. And this does not excuse him being the way he is. However, if they are grooming those children to become the so-called leaders, in many countries, like this is the case with Macron, this old saying that hurt people hurt people. So those people who have been hurt, they just don't know any other way and they keep on hurting people. It's a very mixed feeling when you look at it, because at one hand, as a human being, you still see a form of abuse and you don't agree with this. However, you also know that this is someone who does not have compassion for people of his country, really. So how are you going to feel about it, right? Very complicated, isn't it? So thank you so much for watching. That's all for today, everyone. I will attach the link to Sergei Lavrov's words down below in the description box. And thank you to those of you who choose to support me. I really, really appreciate it. The links will be down below as well in the description box. And with this being said, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, guys.